Lock in, lock in, lock in, baby. The many native languages of Britain from Mark. All right. Let's get locked in. Because y'all be just inventing new languages every week and shit. Like, let's see what they're going to consider a language.
Today on Let Me Talk TV, we're looking at the indigenous languages of the UK.
Oh, indigenous.
When you think of the languages of England and the United Kingdom, you're probably thinking of English. But as you crisscross this country, you'll find other native languages, some very small, some not so small.
Okay.
How many others are there? Probably more than you think, as I'll show you in this video. Of course, I'm speaking here of indigenous languages. Well, by that I mean ones that have been around for at least 1,000 years or so, because even English itself was brought over by Anglo-Saxon tribes sometime in the 5th century AD. The Celtic languages are much older, but they too arrived by migration from the continent.
But see, we be like lying low-key, because it's like, it really wasn't even English. It was like a fucking, like a form. Like a super fucking early form with like 13 words. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what do we call that?
Possibly around 1000 BC. Other peoples inhabited Britain before them. Stonehenge, for example, was built by a different set of people who had reached Britain from Anatolia in modern-day Turkey over the course of many centuries and had olive-coloured skin. They might have spoken a language similar to Basque, but this is just speculation. I speak more about this in my video on the Celtic influence. What the fuck is olive-colored skin? Check that up here. However, at the end of this video, I will briefly mention recent immigration and the top 5 green people came through in the UK today, with some surprising stats. So do stay for that. Let's start with a handy map. This Greek people are not olive, nigga. Comprising Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Also included Greek people are white and the Isle of Man, not strictly in the United Kingdom. I'm going to take you through the languages of the country. Now, there is some debate as to what constitutes a language and what is a dialect, and certainly there are grey areas. There are no standard criteria for distinguishing languages from dialects. A witty distinction is that a language is a dialect with an army. Anyway, I will reveal some of the dialects that have claims to be languages too. I'm doing this from the smallest to the dialect is almost like slang numbers. And without further ado, let's go. Norn, geography. It's found in the Orkney Islands and the Shetland Islands. Number of native speakers, 0.
The ponies have an island?
Number of second language speakers, not many. Language group, Scandinavian. It is closely related to Norwegian and Faroese. Status, extinct since 1850, but some say it continued being spoken till the 1930s. The language is related to Old Norse. That's the language of the Vikings who settled all over England, especially in the east. Some Norn still exists in some vocabulary in the Shetland and Orkney dialect, as well as some place names. There's even some writing in Norn that survives, including the Lord's Prayer. And the motto of Shetland is, well, I can't...
Nigga, imagine going to like a tiny village out there and they like still have like some people who speak some of that, like, oh my God, like imagine like a plane goes down, you just end up over there for some reason. Oh my God, that must be like the craziest thing to hear.
I can't read that, but in English it's, with law shall land be built, and that's in Norn. Orkney and Shetland remained under Norwegian sovereignty until 1468-69. They were only ceded to Scotland because King Christian I of Norway's daughter married James III of Scotland. Christian pledged the islands as security for the dowry payment, but when he failed to pay the full amount of the dowry, Scotland kept them.
Damn.
Recently, there have been attempts to revive Norn, which is why it appears on this list, even though it's only met with limited success.
So you don't make sense. You don't make sense. You used the word inhabited and then said there's probably some people. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
The modern version of Norn is called Norn. This is what it sounds like.
Haust, förfinner du, Pobi, där, feder, that's, more, mum.
Nah, get the fuck out of here. You get the fuck out of here right now. You're telling me the plural version is a whole different word? And it's only like that for dad? See, this is what I'm saying. Like we gotta come to a point.
Murder. Mothers.
Cornish. Spoken in
Oh my God!
Cornwall.
You said okay.
The
my
number
bad.
of native speakers, a small
That's
number.
my bad.
Number of speakers of Cornish as a second language. Well, according to the 2021 England and Wales census, 560.
Nah, they just added an S on them bitches, didn't they?
Cornish.
Murder. Mothers.
Oh my God! It was. See? Oh yeah, they did. It's like a whole other. Oh yeah, see, daughter. Yeah, okay, you're right. I'll give it to you.
Or, mum.
Yo, Mark, get off my dick,
Cornish.
bro.
Spoken in Cornwall. The number of native speakers, a small number. Number of speakers of Cornish as a second language. Well, according to the 2021 England and Wales census, 563 people identified Cornish as their main language, which is quite an achievement for what had been a dead language only a few years prior. Although, of course, that's still much less than in days gone by. Before the Black Death of 1348, there may have been around 38,000 speakers. The language group is Celtic, closely related to Welsh and Breton, spoken in northwest France. It's part of the Brittonic subgroup of Celtic languages. What about its status? Well, it had become extinct in 1750, but there has been a revival in the last few years.
How the fuck?
So what does it sound like?
How?
This is Michael from the Level Up English podcast and a student of Cornish.
How?
He made a fascinating video
How
about the
does
Cornish
a language
Here's
just
clip,
how do niggas
and
just
I'll
started
put a
waking
link
up
to
and talking
in
it?
the description if you want to see the whole
How?
thing.
Hello in Cornish is difta. Difta.
Oh, I've heard
Literally, this means day good.
that German?
Fatla genochwi. This is kind of like, how's it going? Muraz. Thank you. O femblof yw now warren ugans miss Genver.
Gerrier and Guernesier. Where are they found? The
Wales.
Channel Islands.
Damn.
Number of native speakers. Together they have about 500 native speakers, of whom about 100 speak it as their everyday language. Guernesier, 50 to 100 fluent speakers, with most being over 80. Number of second language speakers of these languages, according to the 2021 census.
So you're telling me okay, hold on. All right. So if one day, right, we get 500 viewers and then we all sit down and come together as a collective and create a language in Glizzy and call it ooh Glizzith. The language of Glizzith. And then we just like create some bullshit and then we all talk it. We could create a language. We're basically telling you that other people out there, unlike us, don't rely on the same half brain cell to get by. Okay. So what I'm saying, like, so you're saying we can't just create a language because 500? How do you even like? Who? What? There's only 500, and we're like putting this in history. Like, that just seems crazy to me. 500 people. We gotta create some shit, man.
2,874. What's their language group? Well, they're closely related to French, and in particular,
we'll be
the
closely
Norman
related
dialect of
to
French.
English.
So it's a Latin language. Their status, critically endangered.
What the fuck?
What does it sound like? This is Guernesiais. If you know some French, I'm sure you'll understand.
Oh my God, chat. And then if 100 of us die, like we can make sure we get some old niggas in there. And then if 100 of them die, then we could be considered critically, and oh my God, we could become an endangered species. And then when we become endangered, we could get protection from the government. Oh my God, we might have just created some shit. They gonna take this offline. It's not gonna be allowed to be posted. Just know that if you're seeing this, just know you're one of the chosen ones, and we need to start working on the language of Glizzith.
Stand it.
Bonjour, comment la fève va?
Anima bio, merci. Pas trop mal. Et de vous?
Ah, anima bio, merci. Ça vaut le Guernesiais.
Pas gravement, mais je voudrais la prod.
Vous pouvez le faire d'offner.
Ah, v'là qui va.
À la prochaine.
À la prochaine.
I mean, not us. Just that's some. They're like having their own shit go on. We don't really got to worry about that for real. You got to understand that shit is isolated type shit. You know what I'm saying? But it could get bad. But I mean, the niggas with the least worry in the world is definitely the UK and fucking the US. Like, hey, nigga, what? It would be a cold, like, every country in the world would be up in flames before the UK and the fucking US had to worry about some shit. The shit hasn't been fought on our land since like fucking 1620, nigga. Like, nah, it's not that far. It's not that long ago. But I'm just saying, like, niggas don't got the balls to do that, bro. You know how nukes work? Yeah, but do you know what niggas don't understand, bro, is you know how much it takes to create a nuke, right? Like, think about that, right? Think about all the missiles and all the systems that are failing over there, and you're trying to tell me that niggas can't even make a basic rocket, but they're gonna make a nuclear missile? Even their air defense sucks. Like, niggas was talking and bragging for years about the Iron Dome and how amazing it was and how impenetrable it was. And their whole fucking country is being defeated by by rudimentary missiles from fucking 30 to 40 years ago. Like, this is shit that niggas was using back when this is shit that niggas was using to fight Vietnam and shit. And their shit is working to get past their weapon systems. Like, what are we talking about? That shit is insane. Them niggas are fighting like back in the day. And then you think they gonna come over here and fight America? Or the UK? Niggas can't even get in the water around the UK. If niggas push up on the UK in the water, it's over. If niggas push up in the water around America, it's over. If niggas push up in the sky around either one of them bitches, it's over. Niggas is done for it. Like, nobody would ever do that. That would be insane. But like I said, niggas can't even protect their own shit, but then niggas are scared that they gonna shoot a nuke off? It's impossible, bro. It's possible, but it would kill them before it killed us. 100%. That shit's blowing up in the sky, bro. That shit is done. This nigga Elon Musk is gonna finally reveal that his Starlink satellites are actually fucking giant goddamn bolt launchers, and he gonna just start sending shit across the world. Just go get crazy.
Next, let's move on to the Manx language. Where is it spoken? On the Isle of Man. Number of native speakers is 24.
From the fucking
Numbers
space.
of speakers of it as a second language, 2,874. The language group is Celtic, the Gaelic branch. So that's related to Scottish Gaelic and Irish, as we'll see later.
Because, bro, the nuke, like, the capability of nukes is real, but it's not legitimately proven by other countries, okay? So when I say that, you got to think about how much tech and how much power it takes to create a nuclear missile, right? And how much propulsion, like how much science goes into that, and how much what do you call it? How brittle that missile is, like how temperamented it is, to where when you think about if somebody can barely fire like a ground to air missile that's less than like 100 to 200 miles away, and they can barely make that happen, you think that they're gonna all of a sudden take a fucking missile, take a missile, put it underground, and launch that bitch continentally across the fucking world and smack somebody in it? Like, come on, bro. That don't even make sense. Like, the logic's not even there. It's just not there. Country's gonna risk all those resources just for it to be intercepted halfway. Like, bro, niggas don't even have the money to even let that happen, bro. Let me give you some perspective of it. Russia has 5,580 that they've told us about. And you believe that shit? Have you seen these niggas don't even have the steel and the fucking engines to even make the fucking tanks that they need to even protect themselves in the war that they're fighting with a country that's 2 to 4 times smaller than themselves right now? Like, do you see that happening? These niggas are fighting like they're literally in the Cold War right now, and you think that somewhere in Russia there's a fucking nuclear bunker with 5,580 nuclear warheads just sitting there somewhere, and they're being powered, they're being kept stable? Where have you seen them? Where have you even seen the US, just like China and just like fucking Korea, have fucking put them bitches on on actual mounts and fired them bitches off in the air and let them bitches land in the water. Russia has literally drove them bitches around on cars and pretended that they could let them shits happen. That shit is not happening, bro. Submarines inside. So you think they got submarines inside? Have you seen Siberia? And you think Siberia is supporting a submarine and missile silos? Have you looked at Siberia? Like, niggas be trying to make shit like it, bro. Shit don't even make sense. Like, you gotta really look at shit and really think with your mind about what's happening over there. Them niggas are fucking. Them niggas are beyond broke. That shit is insane. Them niggas can't even push up on Ukraine. And you think they're gonna push up on somebody else? Come on, bro. Lock it in, please. Like, nigga, what? America could have sent America or the UK, nigga, even Canada. Canada could have sent a text message to them niggas, and it's over. One single nuke and everyone fires them. It would never, bro. What that shit is not happening. Like, it's insane to even think that it's happening. That shit doesn't even make sense. You think what? They're gonna set that nuke off, and then the whole entire world is gonna launch one nuke at them. So then they're gonna end up intercepting 47 nukes to their country, and they're gonna just send off one nuke from their shit. Like, that shit doesn't even make sense. Where's the logic in that battle? That shit's never happened in the world that we live in today. Because if that was the case, all Japan had to do was launch one of them bitches right back. They could have built up the power and just sent it over here to America, just like we did. We sent them that shit over there to them. What they was gonna do? Why didn't that shit happen? Niggas not retaliating, bro. I'm telling you, that shit's not happening like that. Yeah, but now that everybody else has nukes, you think all of a sudden they were like, hey, listen, we forgot about that pain? You think they were like, hey, we forgot about that pain? So we're not gonna send no shit over there to y'all? Like, that shit don't even make sense, bro. Come on. Like, we're not thinking logically. Like, you get nothing out of sending a nuke. Niggas realized that back in the day, and it will never happen again, bro. That shit will never. The most that was ever gonna happen is like a barrage of a bunch of missiles and niggas coming in and trying to hit you up on land. Niggas are not sending a nuke. They need what you have. If they nuke it, it's over. The reason why America could blow they shits up and kill them all was because nothing they had they needed. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even you gotta use your brain.
Later. Status. Definitely endangered. Manx became an extinct language when the last native speaker died in 1974. But since then, it has been revived and is now taught in schools across the island. What does it sound like?
How does that happen? Like, I don't understand how that happens. Like, somebody just woke up one day and was like, yo, let's just start back talking like this?
Kissed out, Hayley.
Oh, Tammy Brow.
Oh, Yindasa.
As kissed out.
Tammy Meidel, you were good of mine. As Hayley, quite sure.
Oh, sure, Rigori.
Oh, Rigori, Yindasa. As quite sure.
Oh, sure, Mananin.
Mananin, Yindasa. As quite sure.
Sure, Joni.
Joni, Yindasa.
Next, Irish. This is where it's spoken in Northern Ireland. The number of native speakers in Northern Ireland is about 6,000 people who use...
How the fuck does that make any sense? I thought that's not the first language. Everybody doesn't just start off speaking Irish. How the fuck how does that even make sense? The place is called Ireland.
Use it as their main language at home, and a further 71,900 claim to speak it. And this is just in Northern Ireland, remember. In the Republic of Ireland, there are about 150,000 who speak it fluently. Language group, another Celtic language from the Gaelic branch. UNESCO classifies it as endangered. It sounds like this.
Dia Gwich. Dia Gwich. Literally means God be with you. Dia Gwich. The reply to this is Dia is Muira Gwich.
Yeah, but then didn't everybody go back to their own shit once the UK realized that they were broke as shit and they couldn't support holding all of these other countries hostage anymore, and they lost all their value and they had to go off, and they just basically retreated into their own area, picked a really cool zone, decided to set up shop right there and let everybody go off and do their own thing because they realized they were a bunch of punk ass bitches. But like when that happened, right, everybody like went back to like speaking their own languages and shit, right? Like, isn't that what happened? I don't understand. I'm like so confused. So why the fuck isn't everybody just speak English? Like, why when I go to Spain do I gotta fucking, or Korea do I gotta fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. I'm so confused. Like, how come it's not like that in other places? Like, some places got halfway back to normal but didn't get fully. Like, I don't understand how. Like, I thought I legitimately thought if I went to Ireland, like, of course there's gonna be some people that speak English, but I assumed like 90% of the people speak both. I mean, don't speak both, but like speak Irish, and then like 10% speak only English, right? But then like 30% in the mix of the 90 can speak like both Irish and English, because I assume there's like, you know, some of them, some households, like they, you know what I'm saying, they travel, because you can't just, you know what I'm saying, people travel around the world. Like, I don't know, that's crazy to me. That's why Mark and I speak English instead of Gaelic. Well, I didn't think you guys were gay. I would have thought you would have spoke Irish. They had Ireland much longer than other countries, like 800 years or something like that. Education yourself on the Troubles or the Highland clearances. The English have Nazi-level history, and no one talks about it. The Troubles or the Highland clearances. Never even heard of that.
Dia is Muira Gwich. Literally, God and Mary, the mother of Jesus, be with you. It's very nice. If you want to say my name is, so my name is Matthew, Matthew is Anam Dum. Matthew is Anam Dum. Matthew is my name.
Next, Scottish Gaelic. Where is it spoken? Or here,
oh my God,
mostly in the Western Islands and in the northwestern Highlands of Scotland. Number of fluent speakers is about 70,000. About 20,000 of them are native speakers. But the number of speakers has increased since 2012. Language group is Celtic of the Gaelic branch. But did you know that if you come to Britain as an immigrant, you don't need to speak English to apply for British citizenship? You need to prove you understand either English, Welsh, or Scottish Gaelic. Anyone will do. Useful information, perhaps. This is what it sounds like.
That's so crazy. See, that's why I never understood. I thought that same thing. I thought that's what it was like when you came to America. Like 100%. I did not know that you needed to only know English. I thought you could know like the shit that people speak here, which would be like Spanish. You know what I'm saying? You got like what's the other fucking one, the native one? Can't even fucking remember it. There's like 4 or 5 in that one. Then you got like some what do you call it? Some nationalities of not nationalities, but some German speakers or whatever as well. Like I did not know that you only had like you could only speak English. But I thought you definitely had to show some type of understanding of them all, not necessarily, like I said, only speaking one. That just seemed crazy to me. So I don't know.
Will do. Useful information, perhaps.
So this is what Scottish, like. This is what Gaelic sounds like? Or Gaelic?
Hashan ma. As a school, hoolish in Morum and the Fortican and Jay Holotter. A Charocus Emriad and the Gaelic Al of Giroch Bacon is keep Luna Rash.
Well,
Holy shit! Oh my god, it's like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. This would be so hard because there's like barely any, where are the spaces in between what there's. I don't even know like when the characters are ending.
Well, Chajachiets in the Churasan Tayan like Urkerin. By Bochgein is Keen Horriman who got us in the Cornish nach an Akal.
Welsh.
Oh, this shit's ugly.
It's spoken here, in these areas.
In the Walian
Number of
Islands.
speakers. 538,300 people in Wales said that they spoke Welsh at home, according to the 2021 census, and that's 17.8% of the Welsh population of 3,150,000, and an additional 110,000 people in England had Welsh as their first language. Language group. It's Celtic, the Brittonic branch. Note Welsh is the Celtic language in the least danger of extinction. It sounds like this.
Neu, os da chi eisiau gofyn am wneud rhywbeth, enghraifft, gai ofyn cwestiwn.
I was totally kidding.
Neu, gai eistedd yn fanna. Sa ti'n mynd I mewn I caffi, sut fas ti'n archebu panad o de?
Panad o de. Gai panad o de, sgwch yma.
What the fuck? Where did she spawn in at? Did you see those fucking eyes, nigga? Oh my god.
Gai bot o Darjeeling os gwelwch yn
Next, Scots. It's spoken here in Scotland and also here in some parts of Northern Ireland.
Oh, wow.
Number of native speakers. According to the Scottish census of 2022, over 1.5 million people in Scotland reported being able to speak Scots out of a total Scottish population of 5.5 million. Language group. It's Germanic on the Anglo-Frisian branch. Current status. The language is classified as vulnerable by UNESCO. Scots is a language that split off from the Anglo-Saxon spoken in England about 1,000 years ago. So do not confuse it with English spoken with a Scottish accent. Of course, they are related, but it's not the same thing. Scots has a number of dialects: Central, Southern, Northern Scots, also known as Doric, Insular Scots, spoken in Shetland and Orkney, and Ulster Scots, spoken in Northern Ireland. Doric is sometimes referred to as Scotland's fourth language. It has its own body of literature and is so different from other forms of Scots that some consider it a separate language.
For the epic poem is wearing a short shirt. That's what catches Tom's attention, gets him a bit frothy about the moo and excited. But anyway, so a sark is your shirt.
In 2023, a retired solicitor completed the translation of the entire Bible into Doric, which had...
How does everything sound so close? Like, I get it, it's all branches of stuff, but it's like, come on, bro. Just speak the regular fucking language. What are we doing here? Why are we mixing shit?
Taken him 17 years. Shetlandic too has a claim to be a language in its own right, probably because of the Norn influence and unique accent.
And the day it's lovely and dry and even sunny between the clouds, and the morning is to be rainy as well. So that's like a day between weathers where you've got a better day between horrible days.
An interesting Shetland word is knapping, which means toning.
Shut your fucking mouth, Mark. No, that's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. We made it better. We made one that made sense, okay?
Down your Shetland accent so that outsiders can understand. And a shout out to Jack from the Scottish Highlands for helping me with this section on the Scots language.
Without doubt, it is a Germanic lead at its heart and is maist sib to English. Forby, it carries with it all the wealth hearst it frae the money threads of leads and folk at Scotland has broke together over the ages.
So you guys know what they're saying? Mark, you know what he's saying? You can understand that language or no?
And now the moment you've been waiting for. The #1 language in the United Kingdom is, drumroll, English.
There we go.
Where is it spoken? Here and a lot of other places. Number of native speakers, according to the census, 91.1% or 52.6 million people had English as their main language in England and Wales. Language group, Germanic, on the Anglo-Frisian branch. What does it sound like? Well, I'm speaking it now. Now, there are a number of dialects across England that are sufficiently different from standard southern British English that they may someday be classified as a language. These include Scouse.
Come ahead then. And we did a little bit of messing about, and then he went, right, you've got a job, you start on Monday.
Geordie.
Lastly is yem, which means home. So if you were going home, you could say, I'm going yem.
And Cockney.
To meet Beyonce a couple of times, which the first time I really held it together, I was like, thanks for having me to show B, you know, rare. The thing is, I was in her dressing room and I was like, there was only a little curtain separating us while she was having her makeup done, and I started like going, I don't think I can do this.
There are others, if I've left.
Oh my God. It's like different degrees of retardation. We're just all fucking stupid. I'm on your home, like, I immediately started thinking about aluminium and aluminum. It's just like different variations of all of us being retarded. Because it's like a word, like, it's like you start saying something so much, and then people put like a little twang on the word, and then they start to think that the word that they're saying, because of how it sounds, is a different word, but it's the same fucking word. But niggas is just dumb. And then they change the word and call it a different language. This is so stupid. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. The different English dialects doesn't make sense. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense because it's different variations of special education. It's because people put a little bit of twang on the way they speak, and then they start to become so stupid that they think what they're saying, because it sounds different in their head or when it's being said, they think they're using a different word, but it's not a different word. It's just different twang. It's just an accent, and accents should not count as languages, 100%. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of stupid shit going on out here. A lot of stupid shit going on.
Out your dialect, then do mention it in the comments. Well done, English. But what about immigrant languages? Let's count down from 5 to 1. See if you can guess the number 1.
Immigrant language?
In 5th position is Portuguese with 224,719 people. Urdu, 269,849.
Isn't that African?
Punjabi, 290,745. In second place, it's Romanian with 471,954. And the most spoken immigrant language in the United Kingdom is, another drum roll, Polish, with 611,845 people, or 1.1% of the population. Where are these concentrated? Well, in Slough, Polish is the main language of 5.68% of the inhabitants.
Wow.
In the London borough of Harrow, 21,100, or 8.1% of the population, were born in Romania. From Harrow to goodbye. That's a brief look at our multilingual nation.
If that many people live there, is that immigrants? Or are they just, is that just they shit now? I'm so confused.
If you're interested in the history of the English language, then do sign up to my newsletter, The Rambler. It's free, a link in the description, or become a Patreon for much, much more.
Damn, I think about it, nigga. Trying to get my money and shit. I'll give it to you.